Now, with this video of this ustaz saying that even the kings, even the prime minister should be reporting to an ulama, if this is viral and a police report is made, he may be called up by the police. He can be investigated for sedition, but he will have his own uh, defense. He will pick up from some books saying that ulama should be the one that leads the nation. So therefore there will be a split of understanding for those who subscribe to his beliefs and those who does not. So there's no telling on how this may end up, but I feel there to be a compelling need for me to comment on this. Now, what is ulama? Ulama is known as a person, or rather a body, who is known, recognized as someone with knowledge about Islam, and namely someone who protects and explains the religious knowledge of Islam. Islam as in the ordainment in the Quran by Allah and practiced and advocated by his messengers, the unadulterated version of Islam. So therefore, when someone is ulama, it stems from the word alim. Al-alim is Allah, because Allah is all-knowing. Allah knows everything. So therefore, Abdul Alim, short form, will be the servant of the all-knowing. And therefore, it is alim is about knowledge. Your knowledge about Islam. And therefore, knowledge doesn't mean that you are towel-headed, doesn't mean that you have beard, doesn't mean that you sing the Quran day and night. It simply means that you internalize the Quran and you derive the divine message of the Quran. You mengaji. Mengaji doesn't mean sing. Mengaji means mengkaji, means you analyze the Quran, you do comparative studies, you dissect and understand and extract the divine message and spread that for the betterment of mankind, become rahmatan lil alamin. And therefore, this categorizes the characteristics of an alim person, and therefore those are entitled to be termed and accorded the status of ulama. And therefore, these indeed on this planet should be the one to lead, because they know what is best for mankind. They know what is rahmatan lil alamin, means they lead this planet as khalifah, as a blessings to all of mankind, all of creatures, all of plants, the entire planet. This is what ulama should mean, not what people like past term ulama as. People like Hadi Awang, people like Shakir, that vilifies other religion, that create divisiveness, that condones corruption, that alters the teachings of the religion. These are not ulama. These are ular semak. Ulama are people who are alim, and they are not the one necessarily praying up and down, 24 hours a day. No. Their presence and what they do brings light, brings betterment, brings glad tidings and rahmah to people and everything surrounding. That is alim. And therefore, in the country, in Malaysia, the person who's supposed to be that are the kings. And the king, sultan-sultan kita, are not far from that. Because so far, based on what I see, the sultans are fair people. They aren't racist. They uphold good governance. They protect what is right. And therefore, generally, the royals in this country are revered by the people of all races and religion. That is closest to that being ulama. And when the country states that sultan are the heads of state of Islam, I tend to gravitate towards that. I tend to agree as a Muslim because they seem to be the better people to lead. So therefore, kalau this ustaz saying that all the leaders should be under ulama, based on the definition of ulama and what's alim, I would say most of the kings are that, and therefore what he says can be right. And bukan sultan report tu ni. Sultan tu yang alim, Perdana Menteri ke siapa ke, semua should tunduk pada agung dan sultan. So alim punya definition, ulama punya definition is not what this ustaz thinks it is lah. Ulama punya definition, alim definition is people who have a deep understanding of Islam, not just the religious rituals or the feudalistic teachings or the perverted concoctions of what Islam is to mean, but rather the pure, unadulterated divine teachings of the Quran that will be loved by every creature on the planet. The one that emanates that spreads that advocate that is the ulama. That is the real ulama that's befitting of reverence and support and loyalty of the nation as a whole. So I hope that I have presented to you my perspective of what ulama and alim is. Do your own wiki search and find out the real meaning of alim, which is the root word of how ulama word comes about. Assalamualaikum.